just trying to get the blood flowing. That's
Do
normally
it,
how.
do it through jumping
Oh,
jacks.
what?
Do some jumping jacks. That's
No, I'm not.
no.
You wildin'. Okay, y'all ready? Yeah, y'all ready. Y'all ready. Y'all here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast. This is our bonus special episode. I believe it will be one of 4 or 5. We'll see how it goes. So I'm trying to think of like the average amount of the episodes we're going to be discussing. But anyway, so with this bonus episode, we will be doing open discussion for 2 of the hottest shows out right now, She-Hulk and House of Dragons. Yes, we've mentioned some of these shows in earlier episodes, and we decided to do a bonus episode, different from our normal episodes that we drop weekly. These will be every other week. This episode, we will be discussing episodes 1 and 2 from both shows. So if you have not seen those, please pause the pod. All those P's. But be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on social. So once you get caught up on those shows, you can come back and check out our bonus episode. Okay, so we are going to start with She-Hulk, since those episodes are shorter. And gentlemen, I know I told y'all that we're going to change the format. So this is going to be open dialogue. So instead of us reviewing one episode and going to the next, we're just going to go ahead and speak on the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk. So I got a few questions I was going to ask y'all just to get y'all mood and past conversations. So just to see how y'all feel. Chris, you good?
I'm ready for the questions.
Oh, your lips were shaped like you was ready to say She-Hulk, and I was just like, is he gonna say it? I wasn't sure where you were going.
Yeah, I didn't know what. I thought he was gonna say something too.
Right. Oh, no, I was listening.
All right, so Chris, since you seem like you're ready to go ahead and get it going, from these first 2 episodes of She-Hulk, how are you feeling about it so far? Like, how are you feeling about the show, or the 2 things that you've seen, or the few things that you've seen in these past 2 episodes?
So I enjoyed it. Yeah, so I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I think one of the more interesting things was how like they got right into it. So usually we get their origin story like later on in the series. With this show, we got her origin right off the bat. And then of course, I thought her relationship with Bruce was pretty seamless. He didn't have to go through like a whole, oh, this is my cousin and we did blah. No, it's just my cousin. And she has her own identity outside of Bruce as well, which I thought was a really good touch as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. The humor is on point too. It has some funny moments too, so I like it.
Okay, cool. Jason, what about you? So far, 2 episodes in the She-Hulk. How you feeling?
I'm rocking with it. I like it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Definitely reminds me a lot of Ally McBeal. Definitely aging myself. I used to watch that, but yeah, I enjoy it. Like kind of like Chris already touched on a lot of it. Per usual, people are upset at different things from the actual show, but I'm really interested to see how in depth they'll go with the character, because I know her TV show is definitely a different format that Marvel has given us. So seeing her on down the road, like in the movie realm, we're dealing with more serious things. It'll be interesting to see. But seeing that the women's point of view, I enjoy as well. So yeah, I'm rocking with it.
Yeah, that's something a few people are upset about, as we've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, are they upset because it's from a woman? But okay, sure.
I think it's like I've told y'all during some of our discussion, a lot of the topics or points that they speak on or mention in the series, it kind of puts a mirror up to certain male behaviors. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and say, like past conversations, I told you guys, and I'll go ahead and put on the pod, I was not excited for the series. That does not mean I was trashing it. That was not, Jason, I know you read it. I literally did not even talk trash about She-Hulk. I just said I had no expectations and I was not excited. But I also said the actress is really good. So if anybody want to go back and try to quote me, that's exactly what I said. Jason.
I feel like Jason,
you ready
he's gonna go back.
No, I didn't bash it at all. So you ain't got nothing to say. So yeah, just sit there. But yeah, so like But like I told y'all, these first 2 episodes, fire. Like it was just hilarious. Felt like certain areas was speaking when she was out at the bar getting catcalled, and the dudes is like, "Wait, man, we just trying to be friendly. It's 3 y'all and 1 of me outside of a bar. Nah, bro, I'm good. It's just y'all need to relax." So I was just, it was a little triggering. But yeah, so I thought that definitely stood out. Chris, was there any scenes? Give me at least 3 that come to your mind from the first 2 episodes that stood out to you the most.
That stood out. Oh, huh?
Now
Oh,
I thought I was gonna do the Jeopardy music.
no, I got you. So one was interesting to me was Hulk was sort of explaining her power, and I think it was a moment where she hulked out, and Hulk, he's used to hulking out. That's what he does, and he thought she was out of control, and he was like, "Wait, you're still Jennifer?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's me." So I thought that was a nice touch where it showed like she was I don't want to say she was more advanced, but she was more under control. And then, of course, you had that whole dialogue with, things that she was dealing with as a woman, and she had to control her anger. So I thought that was dope. The other, scene, and I talked about it in the chat, how excited I was the spaceship from Sakaar. We saw that, which caused the actual car crash, how Jennifer got her powers. But then, of course, in episode 2, we saw that Hulk was talking on the phone with Jennifer, and he was actually in the spaceship taking care of business. So I like the setup. I'm all for the setups and everything like that. So I thought that was cool, especially where they could go with it. A third scene, it would probably be, and I'm trying. What would a third scene be? I guess I would say, and maybe not for the best ways, but the courtroom scene. I thought it was interesting that they gave her her own set of like she's a career woman. So like outside of being She-Hulk, she's her own identity first, which I thought was really dope because sometimes you have like these superhero characters and they're like Tony Stark is, he's Iron Man or Cap is, he's Captain America. They're not actual people ahead of that.
Right.
So I figure with her, it was a really nice twist in the way that they tackle her character. So I would say those 3.
That was a good point. Jason, you got 3 that weren't the ones that Chris mentioned.
Yeah, I was trying to leave some sauce on the floor here.
Right. He really hit 4, but I ain't tripping.
I did catch 4, but I was just like, I'm gonna let him live because Chris, he was into it just now.
Oh my bad.
So as far as when it comes to scenes that stick out, I don't know if it's really been anything outside of what Chris has touched on. Like I said, it is a little bit different the way they're formatting the show, so it's more like a comedy series with the drama is within it. So of course the Cap reveal that he got some pussy, that was definitely that's up there. It's not really a scene, but kind of like touching on what Chris said, but like I love grounded heroes. So like, just like the reality of a people. I know a lot of people don't like that. Like they want the person to just give up their life and be a superhero. And it's like it doesn't pay the bills. We've seen that in Cap and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's just not a feasible thing. But shit, we seen Peter been broke his whole fucking career. Like, no, that's not a feasible option. And just her, like the actor herself, like I said, I'm Orphan Black is the one everybody always goes to. I've never seen it. But just how she, pretty much goes back and forth in between I don't know, just being a regular person and doing her job, like that was dope. And I guess one thing I will say, because I couldn't think of scenes, just more so the acting. The one with her and her dad, when she went to the family dinner and she was speaking with her dad, and he was just actually just checking on her, like that was because that, like I said, father. So of course, anything that's dealing with the dad being able to check in on the kid, I'm always here for. So I enjoyed that scene as well.
Jason stole 2 of my points, and I'm just like, please don't take my next one. I'm like, damn, he took my other one. Because when you mentioned like the scene with her and her father, that conversation that they were having, it's funny because he said, it's not like you destroyed a whole village and killed a bunch of people. And I was just like, yikes, you throwing some shade at Bruce, because that was kind of wild. And then also the scene where she was at the bar drunk and her boss came and told her that she can no longer work at the firm. And she's just thinking to herself, like, all of those, like, her career is over. And I thought that scene was kind of wild, because she was like, should I had just not saved those people and just let them get squished? And he was like, no, you did the right thing. But if you bring too much negative attention to where it's just like, I like watching it, like, can you imagine like going to law school, you in debt and everything, and you doing good? Okay, you stumble upon some powers. All right, something different. You save some people and then you lose your job. I'm just like, maybe I should just let them die. Like,
Yikes.
You know, Jazz ain't saving no kids, so she definitely will let the courtroom get it.
There's kids in the courtroom?
Now I'm just saying. 2 for 1.
Yeah. That's just like, yeah, I know y'all done play Grand Theft Auto before, right?
Yeah.
That's all I play.
Anytime y'all driving, do y'all ever see somebody on a bike or a motorcycle and you be like 20 points every time you run them over?
Oh yeah, because I can't do it in real life, so I got to do it online.
But when in real life, do you see? And then you be like, ooh, that's 20 points right there. Of course, you're not gonna hit them, but
yeah, you just kind of wish it was GTA. I was driving today, and somebody was a bicyclist. They was in the street instead of on the side. I'm like, bro.
I'm just glad. I'm just thankful my family chose the South, because I'm just knocking on wood. I haven't hit anybody, because I don't stop for people that use the use the street for stuff like that. Yeah.
For bikes?
for people, for bikes, for anything. Y'all need to teach y'all kids how to cross the street properly. Don't come out and just hop out in the car. I put my head up and just keep it moving. I don't see it.
You drive with your head up?
Yeah.
If I see somebody trying to cross the street, yep.
Allegedly.
That's not alleged. That's the truth.
No, it's
I'm like, Jason, let's Chris is trying to bring you back.
Trying to save you here.
Save these kids. He's trying to cross the street. Wait.
All right. So, were there any Easter eggs within these 2 episodes that y'all saw that was just like a oh shit?
Yeah.
Chris, look excited. Chris, I'm gonna go to you first. What was what were two Easter? I gotta put a number on y'all because y'all be eating too much off the plate. What were 2 major Easter eggs that you saw with these 2 episodes?
So the one I really enjoyed was episode 2, when she was on the phone with Bruce again, and he was referencing the fight with Abomination back in the Incredible Hulk, which came out like 2008. And he was like, I'm a completely different person, from back then. And then you saw her, she breaks the 4th wall a lot in this show. So that was one of those moments that she was like sort of a nod to like, hey, I was, the character was Edward Norton and now it's Mark Ruffalo. I thought that was dope. Another Easter egg. Jeez. Oh, when episode 2 again, when she was on the laptop with her friend. And if you notice, when they're on the laptop, there's like the little news headlines on the side. And one of those headlines referenced Wolverine. It said "man with claws in a bar fight," which of course we know the first thing you think of is Wolverine. So I like how they're like sprinkling, mutants in a little bit, assuming that was, a reference to him, which, it's a safe assumption that it was. So I thought that was pretty dope.
Okay. Jason, what 2 Easter eggs did you see?
So I mean, mine's more so obvious. I don't think I really noticed any Easter eggs. Not that, I mean, just scatterbrain right now. But of course, when Tony and Bruce were at the, they wrote their names, the Science Bros basically, on the bar that they created, that he left to Hulk. And the second one was kind of like in the same. Well, I'm not gonna use what Chris did, but when she's getting her new office, like when they're walking through the office, you can see like and the guy, he's coming out the room, and you can see a whole lot of like comic books in the guy's office, like they're just using like comic books as, I guess, decor, and they're just kind of like giving a nod, like there is a comic book. Comic books are being created within this world. So those was the 2.
Okay. I'm trying to think any that I don't have too many Easter eggs that y'all didn't mention, but definitely some references. The Hawkeye reference where her dad was just like, after he shoots those arrows, like, do they just stay there? And it's funny because I feel like that also came up in Hawkeye, the series, where
Mhm.
Kate was asking him like, so what you do with your arrows? Like, do you go back and try to get them? So I thought that was funny to reference back to that question. And then I think another one was the conversation where she was just like, do Avengers even get paid? Do they get pensions? Because like you mentioned, Jason, because that was one of the obstacles that Falcon had to go through in that series. He's just, you know, trying to get a loan. Like they didn't have no money. So it's the fact that Jen was thinking about that. It's like, see, women are always thinking about 10 years ahead. Like, wait a minute, I don't want to be no hero and I ain't getting no check. Who's saving lives for free?
Yeah, that's a choice. Chris fake though, because he ain't even mentioned Captain America. He didn't mention Captain America's ass. He mentioned it the other day though.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
First of all, that's not being fake. I'm trying to leave stuff on the table. And
See,
second,
that should have
can
been
we
your
have some
first one.
context? Can we have some context in there? Because
Nah, we good. We good.
nah. So what he's referencing. You trying to make me sound like you? Does that do that? No, what we're referencing is Jennifer's screensaver was Captain America. You know, on
I
callback
don't.
to huh?
I don't. What was it?
No, it was a
What?
callback. It was a callback to Avengers Endgame. When
But
they were
what
talking,
was in her phone? Captain America's what?
his butt. That's what it was.
I wanted Chris to say yeeks so bad to where he was like Captain America's yeeks. I wanted him to say that because
You think
then
I'm
it could be
I'm not
JR
British.
be saying
I'm not
that.
British. Yeah. Leave that over. Leave that over.
Don't call no man's butts yeeks, man. Come on now. We gotta do better than
Wow.
that. No.
We love you, JR. We love you.
No, but that was a and it was after she mentioned it, you know, in the first episode. So I like the little continuation they go there.
Yeah.
They seem to really be like I don't know if the word is meta, but they're like very open to like real life. So like we have her breaking the fourth wall, and then Hulk reference he's called Smart Hulk, which is something that the internet sort of called him after Endgame. And it's just little things like that that they really, you know, get into and sort of like talking to us as opposed to being in their own world. So I like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's dope. And I also thought it was funny when Hulk told her her DNA helped finally heal his arm. And she was like, so I'm better than you?
Yeah.
And like, I love their interaction. It was just
Yeah.
hilarious because I'm just like, that's something I would say. But
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It'll be dope to see her, like, you know, they get her and Deadpool together in like one of those fourth wall
yes.
breaks to see if they, you know, have conversation between amongst each other. That'll be dope. Or even with shit, her and Moon Knight, that'll be a crazy conversation.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of
Dealing with
possibilities.
him. Yeah, with her, it is super endless. One thing I did want to bring up, I don't know if Jazz has it in her notes or not, but I know he mentioned in kind of like the meta commentary, just as far as the stuff that's being brought up on the internet and how Marvel is incorporating it inside the actual shows. Um, how do y'all feel about, you know, the young lady who was coming out and she was kind of like saying some of the stuff that she's been blogging about? I'm assuming has to be blogging, being in the actual show. Because it's kind of, I know we kind of said like no idea is truly a new idea. A lot of stuff people talk about, people just throw shit on the internet all the time, even if you go in depth with, you know, whatever your theory is or theories are. But what did y'all feel about that? And if you don't remember, you know, we're talking about, you know, the young lady, she's, you know, she had a blog, and she mentioned about the Captain America, not yet Captain Falcon, um, not having a job, not having a pension, and then, you know, this is part of the conversation that Jennifer had in an episode. But then there was also the theory of Captain America being a virgin, and that also came up in the show, and she felt like she sort of spearheaded that conversation, or they took from her conversation and added it into the show.
So I say with those kind of situations, you have to be careful about the ideas that you share online and with people, because even like those situations suck, but it's just you just got to be careful. That's like, I feel like a lot of these businesses, they have people that go on Twitter and look for ideas to take from people, from tweets that people post. Because we saw it a lot the beginning of this year, where like fans create their own alternative ending for a series, like, oh, it should have ended this way, and you have people that's like, oh, they had a good idea right there, let me add my own spice to it, to where it don't look like I took their idea. So it's just, you have to be completely cautious of what you share. And like, I learned like copyright and all of that in college. It's just like people will steal your ideas and say it was theirs, and then it's just, you don't have it like protection on it, then it's free reign, which is very unfortunate. But these big businesses, they probably go to bloggers to get ideas, if you actually think about it. So
Yeah. I mostly agree with Jazz. Like, it, pretty much said you have to watch what you post online, which is unfortunate. I don't think it's right, morally, I guess, in the sense of, if she's posting that idea, and if it is the case where, whoever saw it on Twitter and, took that idea and implemented it into the show, that sucks. But at the same time, it's just kind of like you're putting it out there for, everyone to see. And if they choose to use it, like if it's not copyrighted or anything, and then it's hard to prove legally as well, because like the whole Cap being a virgin thing, that's not something like exclusively that she thought. That was a big thought, throughout the years. And then, as far as the pension thing, I'm sure that's been a conversation too. So it's kind of difficult to just say, hey, this was my idea, you stole it. But it does happen, like Jazz said, people are on Twitter. I'm sure people on like Reddit or blog, things like that, and they just see these type of things, and they take different ideas. So it's unfortunate, but it does happen.
What you think about it, Jason?
So as far as when it comes to like the pension, the job and thing like that, like you don't really think about it because you just think, hey, this is a hero. Typically it's somebody, we grew up, well, I grew up, let me speak about myself. I grew up on Batman. He was rich. So it wasn't a scenario of him needing to have a job. He was just a rich white boy who had nothing else to do, so he went out and fought crime. But then you have, like, we were getting a little older.
He did more than that.
What?
What had to do with his origin? Like, Bruce was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, he's an orphan. He went through a lot of different bullshit, but we just talking about how so he needs a therapist for sure. if that's what you're trying to get me to say. But I'm thinking about, we got a little older, 2000, we get Spider-Man. Spider-Man has always been broke. Like, he's always had to hustle up to get anything he did outside of him going to school and him having so he has very rich friends and he can't afford it. He's selling pieces while in a Spider-Man suit. Like, he's literally out here swinging, trying to sell pieces to make ends meet. When it comes to somebody like him. So it's like when you just start going back and thinking of it, it's like these things have always been something. It's just a lot of the heroes typically either don't give a fuck and they just like super dirty, Punisher, Blade, these guys just underworld type guys, so they just do whatever they don't really need it. And you have somebody like Iron Man who's rich as hell, it doesn't matter, and he put his shit out there just like, hey, I'm Iron Man, woo woo type situation. And you have Cap, an American hero. America really don't take care of their heroes, but Cap seems to be well taken care of, but not really, because he was talking about being broke to Falcon because he said he couldn't afford something at one point. So it's just like, I think people think it's an oversight, as far, because like I said, we here to see action and fighting. A lot of people don't care about this, but because I was always a Batman fan and Spider-Man fan, these are things that I've always just thought about when it came to these heroes.
Yeah, and I think it was cool with the TV shows where they sort of tackle those sort of conversations that you don't really think about, like, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, them being like broken, like being denied a bank loan. That's not something you would actually think about when you're thinking of superheroes. But I like that. That's one thing that the Disney Plus shows have been able to flesh out, certain things like that, which creates, better storylines for us. So I thought that was a good point.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to cover for She-Hulk before we move to House of Dragons?
That was a good, Jazz. I like that.
That was lit.
That was good. Yeah. Good job.
I
Look at Jason hating.
I got some. I got Green Ranger vibes when he was, with the little flu. That's what I got when Jazz like, what is that? I don't. The Green Ranger had a musical note.
He
Look.
did.
That's how he called. That's
Jazz
how he
wasn't on
called.
Power Rangers.
That's how he called his dragon. Jazz. You should
Have
look it
you
up.
recently watched the Power Rangers?
No, I used that's my shit. Power Rangers is my shit. I know.
That
When Tommy was the Green Ranger, there's no that was I was pissed. It didn't do well enough to get that part 2. Because I wanted to see Tommy come in, but it didn't get it. Not gonna get it neither.
Okay. So I ain't got nothing for it. But so She-Hulk, nothing anybody want to add? We good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay, the House of Dragons. Gentlemen. So do y'all remember the characters' names?
I remember Damon and I remember Viserys.
King Viserys.
Yeah,
their names.
It's a few.
They got some names on their ass, boy.
And they're so similar to one another where it's kind of difficult. Yeah. And then you have some that was from Game of Thrones,
right? Because Viserys is Danae's brother. Yeah,
they gotta stop. They gotta stop fucking their sisters and brothers.
They're not gonna stop that.
These names gotta expand somewhere. They Rhaenyra, Rhaenyra, Raina.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. Okay, so since I started with Chris for She-Hulk, Jason, I am coming to you for House of Dragons. Since you have seen these first 2 episodes, you can call yourself a day one for House of Dragons. Let's give them a round of applause, everyone.
So excited.
But nah, like Jason, these first 2 episodes, how they got you feeling? How do you feel about the series so far?
I'm not gonna even lie to you, Jazz. I feel overwhelmed. Like I
get it.
Like I don't know. Like, Chris say analytical brain, but like when I watch TV, I like watch it and I'm trying to like pick up, grab different things, and I feel like I'm overwatching. Like when I'm watching it, and then I'm trying to remember the Game of Thrones, which I mean is relevant, but it's not relevant to what we're watching right now. Like there is callbacks, but it's like it'll still be there. I can come back to it.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to catch and grasp every little bitty small detail, see what may come back up, what may happen. There hasn't been everything right now has been predictable so far for me, but it's grabbed me enough to keep me within it. So I'm along for the ride, for me personally.
Okay, not mad at that. Chris, what about you?
The king is very dumb. I'll just go ahead and say that he's making some horrible decisions. And Damon, who is played by Matt Smith, who is from Doctor Who, he's one of the big names who was casted for the show. He got some points. I mean, he sees the incompetence of the king, so he's kind of like, yo, you're doing things wrong, and you're my brother. They're brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his brother. He's just kind of looking at him like you're not doing a good job of with this whole king thing. So I thought that was an interesting dynamic, and of course it breeds the conflict. We see that there. Of course, everything goes back to the throne, but of course we add dragons with the whole Targaryens and everyone. And I thought it was interesting with the dynamic of the women. So we talk about the main daughter, King Viserys' daughter. I don't know her name. But
Morena.
Thank you, Jazz. I knew I could count on you to get the names. But of course she was named heir after Damon, pretty much traded. He was a traitor towards the king. So she was named the heir. And then you see how much of a controversial that was, just because it was, a woman. So I thought that part is interesting as well. And then, of course, you have a lot of the backstory that we already have from the House of Targaryen. So, like, some things are similar, like, as far as the whole, the timepiece of everything we're familiar with it from Game of Thrones. So it's very graphic. We saw that in episode 1 off top. Like that was that was almost like Red Wedding-ish in the first episode. So like you're getting a lot, and I like that because it is a prequel, but we've already been ingrained into this story, pretty much. So we sort of know what to expect. Nothing is new to us if we watch Game of Thrones. And I thought that was interesting. I think it'll allow us to pick up the pace a little bit more as far as, storytelling. We've already had a time jump from episode 1 to episode 2. So I like that they're going to be able to do stuff like that.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that you mentioned a time jump in the chat yesterday, I was like, wait, because I rewatched it today and I was just like, what time jump is he talking about? But you're talking about the 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were talking about years in the future because we have a young and an older Princess Rhaenyra.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was just like, wait, already?
Oh,
and then I didn't see it. I was just like, what the hell Chris talking about?
Yeah, when he mentioned his son and his wife had passed, he said, it's been some, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
no. All right, so y'all already know I love Thrones. So yeah, I'm with the show. It was a lot of dialogue in the first episode. It was a lot of dialogue on the second episode, but the first one had a lot of action. So I'm excited to see where they go with it. Can I get two scenes that stood out? Right, it was a few. So
Yeah.
I don't see us stepping on each other's feet for these two. Jason looked like he's thinking about two. So Chris, two scenes that stood out.
Man, when they pulled up on Damon that was Dragonstone, when they were all on the bridge, that was peak Game of Thrones. Like, that was just, the whole scene was just fine. I thought they was about to fight, which is, that was, the plan. But I thought that whole scene was amazing. Then, of course, he just tossed her the egg like it was, like, here, just take it. That was
like
that
it was a volleyball. I'm like, whoa.
So good thing she could catch. So yeah, that was a great scene. And then I thought too with the those were what was the animals that were, we saw it in the cold open of episode 2. Crabs.
Yeah, they were crabs.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, that whole storyline. I'm excited to see where that goes. But I just thought that opening scene was just, I'm just looking at that like, where are we about to go with this episode? So that got me hyped. So I would say those two.
Okay. Jason, which two you got?
I'm gonna ride with two scenes. When King Viserys, he chose his daughter's bestie, which, I mean, we knew that was coming. They, like I said, I feel like I heard the half year when Raina and the friend, the High Tower girl, were inside the room praying, and she was like, it's been half year since everything's been going on.
Yeah.
That's when I heard it.
Okay, gotcha.
And of course, when he had to choose his son and his wife, that was, I that moment took me back to The Walking Dead when Rick's wife had to determine to take the baby out of her, which, that was a moment as well. But yeah, that's what that made me think of. But I'm not mad at the Red Wedding thought at all.
That's a really good callback because I did watch Walking Dead after that when Lori died. So that's a good callback. I, like Chris, went to the Red Wedding because I was just like, all right, so first y'all stabbing and now y'all cutting it open. I'm just like, the fuck. But so I'm gonna say two scenes for me had to be the last scene of King Viserys and Rhaenyra talk when he's telling her that he's pretty much going to make her his heir, and you see the different houses bend the knee. I thought that was so fire because you got the Starks, the Baratheons, and then when him telling her about the long night, the long winter. And so just that Thrones callback, I was like, oh shit, this show about to be so good. That was definitely one of my favorite ones. And then I'll say the duel scene, because we saw a little bit of it in season 1 of Thrones, but this one was just like straight gore. Yeah. And the fact that they're asking for the princess their favor before the fight. So I thought that was pretty dope. So
yeah, I like that too. And I thought it was interesting, even with the first point. What was the first point you made?
Of the when Viserys was making Rhaenyra, his heir.
His heir, yeah. So when you go over the different houses, I like that because, like you said, we already were introduced to Baratheon and, Stark and everything else. I thought that was cool because they mentioned Dorne as well, did they not?
They didn't in that scene,
But
but earlier in the episodes, they definitely mentioned Dorne, yeah.
So yeah, that was one thing I really liked because I feel like we can get more characterization or like more history on some of the other lesser known houses. Because in the original Thrones, it was pretty much the Lannisters, the Starks, and Targaryen. That was the main, three. So with this one, I feel like we can go off a little bit to other houses and get more history there.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter today where it was a shot of the Lannister sigil that was during the duel. Mm-hmm. I didn't catch it when I was watching, but I can't remember everybody's sigil.
Yeah,
like,
somebody out there
out here, like
somebody out there will.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I thought I think these last two episodes, they were pretty dope, and then we have obviously new characters we're being introduced to. So do y'all have a one character that reminds you of someone from Game of Thrones that has or maybe one character that reminds you of a blend of two? So for example, one character that reminds me of Jaime and Tyrion is Daemon.
Oh yeah.
Like Chris, you said Daemon, you was speaking highly of it. I'm like, Daemon keep catching L's. Like
it's early.
Look, he done caught 2 L's. One of them is in a whorehouse. He looking all sad with the little see-through thing over. He can't get his act right. His brother talking down to him. I mean, he just be killing people in the street. But I'm like, Daemon, he's portrayed like one of those creepy characters that you need to watch out for that can fight. He's like a Drogo kind of, or that's how he seems portrayed during the House of Dragons advertisement. But I'm looking at in these past 2 episodes and I'm like, nah, he's falling flat for me right now. So
you want me to go first or Jason?
Either one.
All right, so for me, Viserys, the king, it kind of reminds me of Ned. And I know Ned, Robert Baratheon was the king, but it's just the decisions that he makes. And we saw Ned, he didn't make the best decisions, even though he thought they were at the time, they weren't the best decisions. Then we see what happened to him. So I'm interested to see what King Viserys' fate is going to be just based off of that. I don't have a combination as far as 2 characters that I would think of off top. Maybe if I go back and rewatch, something I would catch it. But Viserys is giving me Ned-ish.
I can see that.
Yeah. So I would say that.
What you got, Jason?
Shit, I don't know. This is when it's gonna get me. So Hightower, the Hand. He kind of gives me a little bit of Tywin, but then he kind of gives me a little bit of Littlefinger because he's been working the entire time. So he was working his daughter, making sure she's like, if you want me to, father. And I was like, the accent. So he's been working behind the scenes, and the king don't know it yet.
That's a good one. That's a really good one because I was hoping you were going to say Littlefinger, but that's who he reminded me of. But when Tywin, that's a really good mix because he definitely gives off that Tywin feel. So
I don't think he is as gangster as Tywin was, but Tywin was definitely working them from across the board, and they didn't even know it.
I think he's gonna be dangerous because
he gonna have to get his because he doing a little bit too much. I feel like Daemon gonna knock him off the board. I thought he was gonna knock him off the board on that Dragonstone.
Yeah, I mean, never know.
Like that's what your background is, right? When she pulled up, when Rhaenyra pulled up.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh no, I just Googled clouds. I mean, it looked kind of
that was a
dragon could pop out. I can see it.
That was an amazing scene when that was up there and you just seen the clouds. Like everybody was like, "Man, what the fuck is that?" And the clouds just kind of spread apart a little bit at the bottom. Well, they started moving. They were like, "Oh, somebody up in the clouds."
Yeah.
And then she pop up like, "What's up?"
How y'all feel about the dragons that we've seen so far?
Yeah, I like it, and I like that they seem more unique and like you can in Game of Thrones, to me, in Game of Thrones, you can really tell them apart too much.
Yeah.
I feel like with this show, they're like more unique, and I think they have different crafts, like the roaring and everything. I think they're different, so I like that, and you can sort of, they're each assigned to, their own particular person. So I think that's a good way to distinguish each one and give them a little bit more characterization. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's dope. And we're supposed to get, I think, maybe 12 to 14 this season.
See, so
Cause well,
I thought it was 13 in total.
it might be. I'm just throwing out numbers, but I know it's 2 digits. So it always depends
Close
on you to
enough.
correct me, Jason. Like,
That I mean, I just think I don't know.
but because I remember during Thrones, we were waiting on the daggone dragons to get bigger. They was all small for like 3 to 4 seasons. And then we finally got big dragons. But first episode, we see 2.
Yeah.
So you just like, yes, give us more dragons. Let them burn and kill people. Do it.
And I thought it was, I think it's cool that we get the prequel because, like I said earlier, we've already have the story, pretty much set. So like we don't have to explain different things or like, go into the lore of certain things because it's already been laid out. We had 8 seasons of it already. So I feel like, we have more now. We can sort of get into it, and I like that.
Their healthcare system is terrible.
Well,
like completely terrible. You got the king, he got a scar on the back. It's not healing. The queen, we saw how that went down.
Right,
and then when the king cut his finger on the chair that is behind Jason, now he has to wear something wrapped around his finger. I don't know if y'all caught that in episode 2, and he had to put his hand in like a whole plate of maggots.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I definitely can see him dying due to an illness, because he just be hurting himself. He don't need to be in battles. He just got scratches.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be the king. He cut himself on the throne.
It seemed like some diabetic type stuff because I know they bruise super easily. And then I was also wondering, like, I wonder if Damon, because he was on, Damon was on the chair first, and I was like, I wonder if Damon poisoned the chair or something, and like and then later. He pricked his finger on him. Like, damn, I wonder if they like alluding to something within there. But like, yeah, I know that's definitely something I know. I feel like diabetics, like it's a certain way they can't be cut or it's just like they bleed a lot. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen. I definitely don't feel like our Caligarian's going to be around too much longer.
That almost took a turn.
So I'm not even gonna lie. That entire scene where they were Lord Corlys was like offering up his daughter.
Valerian.
Yeah.
12 years old. It's just and she was talking like a grown woman. I felt gross. I was just like,
she was talking like she was coached.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Within that situation, it's like what your dad say, whatever the situation with the actual family, we like what your mom would say. I wouldn't have to wear the kid until boarding kid until I was 14, like bro.
Yeah.
And that's the age of Alicent or Allison. Hightower's daughter.
Yeah.
But I think she's the same age as Princess Rhaenyra. So like they friends, and your friend is about to marry your dad. She man, when she found out, she just wanted to throw hands.
Yeah. She should have got the dragon and burnt everybody. Going through that.
Because it's crazy because that's who she was talking to in that crypt. Like she's just like, how do I pray? But you can see like the Hightowers always use the excuse of, oh, when my mother passed, or oh, when my wife passed, how the father and daughter are playing the king. And Damon told him, but he's just like, nah, he's loyal. Like that Tywin Littlefinger ass, he ain't loyal.
Not at all.
No, I feel like everybody is pretty much out for themselves right now. Like nobody, I don't really think like anybody has the king's
best interest
at heart. Yes, everybody's intentions is out for themselves. Like, I do really feel like Damon probably would have been the best person, but I mean, Damon is a wild card at the same time. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he would have been cool as just the actual heir. He should have been. I feel like he like I said, he's a wild card, so him being the hand probably wouldn't have been the best option for him, but he definitely could have been somebody that could have been close to his brother. That's gonna look out for him within that situation. But now they divide and conquer at this point. That's what everybody is doing within that that situation.
Yeah, and then the king, he ruined all his relationships. He ruined the relationship with his daughter pretty much because she chose the friend, and then the Black Valerian guy, I don't know his name, Jazz.
It's
Corliss?
Corliss.
Thank you. Yeah, he's siding with Damon now, so he's lost a powerful house there. So it's just kind of like you're messing up, my brother.
That's if he don't get killed out there trying to within that situation. You never know.
Yeah.
We just talked about that today.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is gonna get what he asked for, but we don't know. Might get a big battle.
Yeah,
but maybe it's a small battle. It might be a small battle, Jason.
Battle nonetheless. I didn't specify. I just wanted a battle. I thought it'd be a war.
I feel like you definitely said big battle.
Well, he wanted a war, some kind of war.
Yeah.
So did you say war or did you say battle?
I'm pretty sure I said war because we had the Blackwater.
Oh, if that's the case, then you might get a small battle, which is not a war because wars are bigger than battles. So you look
at the point Jazz trying to make.
Yeah,
I'm just
sure,
he's wrong. No, he's wrong. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
wrong.
that's what you want.
He's wrong. I'm telling you. But now that's gonna be a. I gotta go back through that because that was that conversation that they were having. It was like I'm one upping you within this conversation. Like, hey, you don't talk to me in this manner type situation. That's not what we're gonna do. But I feel like if you was to help me with this situation, I could assist you with this situation type thing. So everybody, like I said, everybody is everybody cutting side deals or trying to align themselves with different people. So it's interesting to see all the hustle and fuss right now.
Oh yeah, and it's probably going to be something that comes later. That's going to be like a crazy connection where we're going to be like, holy shit. It was actually that person in the corner that set this entire thing up to make everybody go against each other. Like it was in Game of Thrones, because it was Littlefinger. He was behind everything.
Littlefinger.
I mean, we knew that though, right?
No.
It wasn't. Nah, not to the reveal when he put the knife up to Ned's throat.
No, it's not even that. It was when he killed Kat's sister. Because his sister. Because then you find out she's the one who poisoned Jon Arryn. She's the one who lied and blamed the Lannisters when it was really her and Littlefinger that had Kat suspicious of the Lannisters.
You're right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So
just a reminder, Chris, you cannot debate Game of Thrones with me.
Okay.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Good thing we're talking about House of the Dragon right now.
Yeah, I never. I mean, like when I don't know. I don't feel like Littlefinger is a good character to bring out because who trusted Littlefinger? Like him or the guy with no balls. I didn't trust neither one of them two niggas.
Oh,
Varys could be trusted though. That's the thing.
Even though he betrayed Daenerys.
So I can't sit up here and say I can defend Daenerys and defend Varys. I can defend both, but not at the same time. So, because I know y'all gonna try to get me on record.
Chris is trying to get you on record because I don't know what y'all talking about.
No, I'm just listening.
I just know she burnt his ass up. I don't remember what he did, but it was something she didn't like. That's all I know.
He was sending information to people.
Yeah, he pretty much Long story less.
She's not the rightful heir.
Yeah, long story less long. And he also tried to poison her earlier, but that was.
I mean, who wasn't trying to poison her?
No,
But Jason, to your point, when you mentioned that Daemon could have possibly poisoned the chair, during those times, poison was a woman's choice. So possibly not.
He got a hoe on him.
I cannot stand her accent. She sounds terrible. Like when she speaks, her accent is terrible. Whatever it means, it's trash.
I don't know where she's from or where they come from to be able to know what their accents are supposed to sound like. So,
I mean, you can't sit up here and be like, "Oh, she's from Old Valyria." Like that's not a real place. But in House of Dragons it is, but her accent is terrible.
I mean, she just sound like she been kind of seasoned a little bit. Like she's been around a lot of people, possibly.
She said that.
Yeah, she's in the whorehouse, Jazz. That was the point.
I mean, she might have been a new hoe. She might have started the week before he got there.
No. He talking about he gonna marry her. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down, he wait for his niece to get old enough to tie that ass up. That's what he waiting for.
Jesus.
Do y'all have that is so gross, but it's probably right because they're Targaryens. That's what they do to keep their bloodline strong.
And that shit fucked them up at the same time. It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Do y'all have anything that you are looking forward to or expectations as far like that you want to see outside of a battle? Well, no, you said a war. So outside of a war, Chris.
I mean, last time I said something, y'all stepped on it, so I'll just take it as it comes right now.
We'll just roll through it. But you got any?
I feel like there can be another older character or like different connections because one of the theories that we saw on Twitter was the Red Woman, a possibility that she shows up. So I'm not expecting her to show up, but I think it'd be dope if she does because it'll just be like one of those moments like Jazz said, like, oh snap, like we have someone to call back really to connect fully to Thrones. But no, I think at this point I'm just, taking it as it is, like enjoying. I want to see more dragons and then, just see how the whole game plays out so far in season 1.
So the Red Woman, 10K a weekend?
We're not doing that, Jess.
All right.
Not 10K.
Jason said yes.
Yeah, Jason, yeah, he's different.
Jason, do you have any expectations when you are not trying to solve or mentally remember everything from the episode?
Man, you know what? Is it Rhaenyra's? Who the Corliss's wife? Who is this again? Rhaenyra. Is it Rhaenyra?
Queen that never was. She is my new favorite character.
Somebody was saying she got some Cersei vibes. I'm interested to see what she's gonna do. It felt as if she was jealous toward her niece. Within that situation, I feel like, I just feel like it was just it's one of those situations where, like, how parents kind of talk to us about different stuff and they lived through certain situations. So it eventually it has to change. So it's
Right.
changing for Rhaenyra within her eyes. And it's just like, she is like the laughing stock currently, but everybody in a sense is kind of turning against her father. So it'll be interesting to see how all this it's like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how it all eventually plays out. But I'm interested in see how or what she does. Unfortunately, I feel like her husband's going to die, and I feel like that's what's going to be her turning point.
Are you saying that because he Black?
Yes.
Well,
I get it.
Yeah, like I did, like when I on my rewatch, that's when I seen their kids, like on the rewatch of it. So like they're probably okay. They're like regular kids, like they're not ancestral kids, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think they're like, hopefully those kids grow up and they can actually be somebody of importance within the actual show. So I'm always, I don't have too many of them, but that's what I'm interested in.
Okay. I think for me, I'm curious to see who this new villain is. Chris, that you mentioned, like
the crab thing.
Yeah.
He looked like Cubone from a Pokemon.
He did.
Oh, Cubone.
He did. So I'm curious to see how that is, because they also mentioned how they're backed by the Free Cities, which was also the same type of the Free Cities was given Daenerys, the Free City of Bravos. So actually Daenerys was dealing with Slavers Bay. She wasn't dealing with free people. But Arya was living where the free people were. She was getting beat up by the faceless whatever.
Yeah, that
But
dick.
yeah. But
Jason don't know what we talking about. Do you remember that? Oh, okay, don't worry about it.
It's okay.
What I was going to say, man, see, like I was over there when I was looking at the actual scene, and it comes on, they on this little place, and I'm like, maybe this is either foreshadowing or like a flashback type of situation, a showing of what is about to happen. When all the people are dead type thing, and then at the end it comes back and it shows. But I thought that dude was fucking Damon just got fucked up type shit. That's what I was thinking, but I'm like, nah, I gotta be a different, yeah.
Did you know what Jason was talking about that entire time?
Yeah, he's talking about Cuba.
I know that, but see, before he confirmed it, I didn't know what he was talking about. I was just like, let's see if I get to a point to where I know what he's talking about. But I'm like, what is he? The hell? But,
yeah. I'm gonna have to put it back. I'm gonna rewatch it again. Like I said, when I looked at the first episode, I think I missed a lot of the little battle they had before the queen was having the baby. I think that's part of what I really missed. But I seen when Damon got his ass beat within that situation. I feel like Damon kind of has been more hinged because he's trying to like be there for his niece as much as he can, but also try to hold it down for his brother as well. Because like I said, eventually he gonna get to. You can't win every fight, Jazz. You can't win all of them.
I ain't say nothing. he was holding a lot of L's though. I'm like, but he was cutting heads off, and it's funny because episode 1 of this series, you got somebody that got their head chopped off, and in episode 1 in Thrones, you got somebody that got their head chopped off. So people just losing their heads all over.
Full circle.
Shit, that was cutting heads off and heads here. That was cutting everything off.
Yeah,
that going through the actual towns. Like, but I mean, you gotta, put that dumbness. But that's what Corliss. That's what he liked. That's what he was very intrigued in Damon. So you knew eventually them two was gonna, link up.
Yeah. And then when the princess said that they got dragon riders that can help Corliss against the T-Bone. What was it?
Yes, I call it Q-Bone.
Q-Bone in them. So Corliss was like, I like what the princess is talking about. But then the king was like, nah, we're not doing that. But did y'all also check for episode 2, she's still the cupbearer after even being announced as the heir. Did y'all see Tomlin, Marcella, or Joffrey pouring anybody a cup in Game of Thrones?
Nah, Marcella wasn't going to because Cersei wasn't going to do that. Cersei wouldn't have her doing that yet. But Joffrey and Tommen, they were boys. So
right. So it's just
yeah.
But it's crazy that you have your heir still the cupbearer. You couldn't get a squire. Yeah, we do. But I just thought that was crazy, and the queen that never was mentioned that. So I didn't get Cersei vibes from her, Jason, but I can see it.
Yeah, I didn't get him either. That's what me and my uncle was discussing it. Yeah, she's a day one as well. So
shout out to her.
Yeah, fuck that. So, but yeah, nah, it was like I don't know. Like I said, but even with that, I'm not even thinking about that. But I guess the main thing, between both of these shows, She-Hulk, and then we, talking about the House of Dragons is, that I guess the tide's changing, as far as with the times. Especially like with Marvel, they weren't trying to push that woman-led TV show, but then you have another show. It's not really woman-led, but it's about a woman coming into power and how men fight against it. So it'll be interesting to see what struggles she actually has as she tries to rise to fame. Like I said, especially if her dad's about to get marry her best friend. There's no telling if she has another have another child and what that child's going to be, because it's like you said earlier, Jazz, women was just pretty much birth givers. They just there to breed, and then that thing is to try to breed a boy. So if he breeds a boy, that fucking automatically knocks her out of where her space is, just automatically, although she's the oldest and she should just be the one that should get it. But yeah.
And it's funny because her mother mentioned that too before she died or was killed. Both. She mentioned like your job is to have kids. And when the Queen and King was having a conversation, the Queen said this is the worst labor that she's had. She had 5 miscarriages because obviously the health system back then, I say health system just because that's our modern day terminology. They just had folks cutting people open and just let me put this Band-Aid and this maggot for it.
It's that damn incest. Ain't got nothing to do with them damn doctors. Hey, all that incest ain't good for the body. You need to put that shit away. Stop fucking your brother. Shit, go find go get one of them common folk out there and fuck on them. Y'all out here messing with each other, brothers and sisters. All that weird ass stuff.
If we have any Idaho listeners, keep doing whatever you're doing.
That's insane. I feel like that's more offensive than what you were trying to do. Oh man, shout out to Idaho. That's crazy.
Man, nah, yeah, they gotta, yeah. I mean, but whatever, man. You gotta, they keep it, keep it in the family. Yeah.
Power dynamics. That's what they want. So
keep that bloodline strong.
Yeah, Hightower should have went to go look for some of his cousins. Look at some different cousins. He should have made the black man divorce his.
I can't wait for him to die, but I know he's not dying no time soon.
The King?
No, Hightower. The King probably gonna die this season, but Hightower probably gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, Hightower, they both might get up out of here and kill each other. Bloop, bloop.
Yikes. Yeah.
Did y'all have any other scenes from these past 2 episodes that y'all just wanted to speak about, wanted to mention?
No, just that conversation between Corliss and Damon, that was, hype. I was like, damn, this nigga Chris finna get his little weak ass battle. That's all I could think of. God. So now that'll be doing Game of Thrones. Hey, relax, Chris. But yeah, that's gonna be. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope to see. Like I said, I mean, it's the battles and whatnot. It is a part of the show, so it's gonna eventually has to happen. The dialogue is a big thing within there, and like the shadiness of each person and each person's intent and how they can get ahead. So, scenes wise, that's probably the only other one that I really enjoyed.
Okay. Well, those are all my questions. I didn't have anything else to cover. Was there anything y'all wanted to mention before we go ahead and call this our first, I guess, 2 or double feature bonus episode?
Double feature bonus episode. Look at her trying to work titles. Get the fuck out of here.
He said as a hater, bro.
Thank you, Chris.
That's crazy. No, I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. It definitely both got off to a good start. Locked me in. I'm really glad Jazz is enjoying She-Hulk because she didn't she mentioned earlier she wasn't excited. So I think that'd be good conversation and discussion. So
absolutely. What you got, Jason?
No, nothing. Nothing. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing, man. I'm excited for both. Like I said, I'm excited for both. Like I said, I'm at this point. I mean, how can you not be excited for Marvel? The month is almost over with. My baby will be 12 on Wednesday, but D23 is next month, so I'm excited for that as well to see what Marvel is about to. What else they got for us? I'm interested in that, and of course, House of Dragons is House of Dragons. That's gonna be going on for a while. They got the season. They got a season 2 already. So we strapped in. We strapped in. Might as well. I'm just interested to see how long they're gonna try to rock this though. How long they gonna let it rock?
Oh yeah, I think it depends on ratings too, and I'm sure they have stories that they can tell. So I guess how long they can go. I think I love how we keep calling it House of Dragons, and that's definitely not the name of the show at all. But
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, that's what it's.
You want the the in there? You want the
Nah,
the?
nah, I don't care personally. I think it's just funny that we.
That'll be the title name, House of Dragon. God damn it.
I just keep laughing whenever we say that.
But Jason, we're discussing She-Hulk and House of the Dragon.
It's
So
her. It's her. How about that? This shit. It's about the women's. It's
no,
her.
we know
No.
we gonna speak on the title because
We'll figure it out.
y'all suggestions are trash right now. But
I didn't have a suggestion. Jason up there trying to.
here go Chris. Let me go ahead and excuse myself at it. No, that's
Yeah,
just
don't put
Jason
me
over
in it.
there. But chances are that by the time this episode we drop it, She-Hulk will have a new episode out. It'll be episode 3, which they keep saying is going to, the post credit is going to break the internet. So Twitter's supposed to be broke on Thursday,
And look,
I guess.
I'm tired of them breaking the internet allegedly. They need to stop lying to people. No.
Yeah. Just
Like,
let us
no.
just let it come, honestly. I know they try to hype it up, but like relax.
But it's just him. It's
Yeah,
only him.
yeah. I know
It's him. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it.
I'm
Yeah.
just like,
You know who the
okay.
Twitter account came from, so I ain't,
We don't drop no names. Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Well, hopefully everybody, enjoy this bonus episode. We do have more coming, so keep a lookout. This is the bonus Was It Good Though podcast. We done.
Deuces.